Hello, 7th grade. It is Tuesday, May 12th, and we have a lot to celebrate today because today is going to be our last new lesson this year. Our last new lesson this year, lesson 113. Yes, there's 120 lessons in the book, but we're going to stop here. The others aren't critical to you being successful in math next year. And we're going to be doing some review the rest of the time. So I've got some review worksheets for you to do in LMS. But this will be our last regular new lesson. Okay, so what is it on? It's on the volume of pyramids, cones, and spheres. And I have three formulas. Actually, two are the exact same formula. So let's first start over here with a pyramid. Well, a pyramid normally has a square base, but it could have a rectangular base, a triangular base, a hexagonal base, a pentagonal base. So, but whatever the base is, that's okay. And then we have the four triangles that go up to the top. And so what is my formula? It is the volume of a pyramid is equal to 1/3 of the area of the base times the height. Now we know what the base is here. The base here happens to be a square, and we're going to do a problem number 20 on it. It has this dimensions 40 by 40 meters square. Now the height is important to know. The height is not this outside slant height that goes up the face of the triangle. That is not the height of the pyramid. The height of the pyramid is actually from the very center of the base straight up to the top point. Okay, so the height of your prism, well, no, it's not a prism. The height of your pyramid is going to be right at the very center of the base and then go up to the top. Okay, so the volume is 1/3 area base times the height of the pyramid. Let's go over here to look at a cone, okay? The only thing different here is the base is a circle as opposed to a square. Now, this volume is also 1/3 area base times height, but the base is the circle. The height, of course, is going to be, goes from the very center of the circle up to this point at the top of the cone. All righty, we're going to do problem number 21 about that in a second. And let's move on to our last formula, the volume of a sphere. Now, this looks like a circle. I know it's hard. I've having a hard time drawing a sphere, but you know what a sphere is. It's like a ball or a grapefruit. Just, you know, it's a sphere. Okay, so what is the formula here? Well, it is the volume of a sphere is 4/3 pi r cubed. Now remember the surface area, let's review that. The surface area of a sphere is 4 pi r squared. So it looks similar, but that surface area, a whole number 4 pi r squared, the volume changes to 4/3 pi r cubed. And so I get a cubed here because it's volume, and it changes from 4 for surface area to 4/3 for volume. And we've got a problem number 15 on that. Okay, now let's go back over here and get your homework worksheet out, and let's look at problem number 20. Let's look at problem number 20. Okay, here we are. Now, problem number 20 says that I have a pyramid with a square base that is 40 meters by 40 meters, and it has a height of 30. So the distance from the center of the base to the top here is 30 meters. Let's find the volume, as if you were filling the whole thing up with water or sand or anything. What volume does that pyramid contain? Now, we're going to go ahead and rewrite our formula. Volume equals 1/3 area base times height. And let's just fill in our values here. Well, the base, big B, the area of the base is going to be the area of that bottom square. And the square is a 40 by 40 square. So I've got to find the area of the square, which is side times side or side squared. And so what is 40 squared? Well, it's going to be a 16 with 2 more zeros. It's going to be 1600. And the height is 30. Well, isn't this wonderful? Let's go ahead and cancel out 1/3 and 30 to 10/1. And now all I have to do is take my 1600 and add another 0. And look what I have. 16,000. Now my units were in meters and it's volume, so it is meters cubed. Meters cubed. Okay. Volume of a pyramid. Let's move on now to the volume of a cone. Now the cone in number 21 is a real skinny cone, and they have it upside down where it looks like an ice cream cone. But we can still find the volume. What would that cone hold? You fill up the whole thing, and what would hold? Now you know what I don't know is I got a peek on number 21. What are the units of measure? The units of measure are centimeters. All right, so let me put centimeters here. Now, let's go ahead. I'm going to rewrite my formula. The volume is 1/3 the area of the base times the height. Now, what is the area of my base? And I've got to see what I'm supposed to use here. I'm supposed to use 3.14 for pi. Okay. Now, the area of my base, oh, can you see that? It's kind of in the demo. Sorry, it's in my reflection. My base is the circle. So for base, I'm going to go ahead and fill in pi r squared because we know the area of the circle is pi r squared. So I'm going to go ahead and put pi here. Now, it tells me that my diameter across this circular base is 20. You may not be able to see that, but look in your book. You can look at the picture in the book on page bottom page 797. The diameter is 20, which makes the radius equal to 10. Well, isn't that great? Okay, because the radius squared would be 10 times 10 would be 100. So I've got 1/3 of the area of the circle, which is pi r squared, and r was 100, so 10, so 10 squared is 100. And then my height. Well, it told me my height from, remember the height is from the center of the circle to the tip here. So I've got the distance from the center of the circle to this other point here is 60. All right, now let's see what we have. So we have, let's do 1/3 of 60. Well, 1/3 of 60 is 20. I've got 3.14 times 100 times 20. Well, let's first multiply pi times 100, and what do I get? 314 times 20. So this is not so bad, is it? Let's just double 314 and add a 0 to it. So double 3, you get 6. Double 1, you get 2. Double 4, you get 8. And then I've got a 0 added on there. 6,280 centimeters cubed. There we go. Now, number 30 is also a homework problem. It's a pyramid problem, and I'll move that out of the glare there in just a minute. But let's move on over to our problem number 15, which is we have some type of sphere. It's a tennis ball, and we want to find the volume of that tennis ball, not the surface area, but the volume. So let's use our formula here. It's 4/3. Now, if you read number 15, it says to make pi just 3. They're making it easy on us. So they're rounding pi to 3. And then it says the diameter is 6. Well, if the diameter is 6, let's write the radius. It is 3, and it's going to be 3 centimeters. We'll get the centimeters part in just a little bit. Now, so pi is rounded to 3. So what is my radius cubed? Well, 3 cubed is what? 27. So I'm going to go ahead and put 27 there. Now let's cancel. Well, 3 over 3 is going to cancel out to 1 over 1. And so now I simply have to do 27 times 4. I'm going to do this over on the side. 27 times 4. 7 times 4 is 28. I'm getting 108. Let me just make sure I'm not supposed to round this. Yes, I am. I'm glad I checked. I'm supposed to round this to the nearest 10 cubic centimeters. The nearest 10 cubic centimeters. Now, this is 108 cubic centimeters for the volume of my sphere, but I've got to round to the nearest 10. So it's either going to be 100 or 110. The tens place is going to stay a 0 or go up to a 1. Well, the next digit's an 8, so I'm going to round up. And it's going to round to 110 cubic centimeters. All right. Now, just to make sure, let me check number 20 and 21. those are okay. We did not have to round those to anything special. All righty. Now the last problem we have is in my glare again here too. Oh, let's just move this way over. Let's get this going here. Okay, right here. Now, this is number 30. Number 30, at the very end of the lesson, they snuck one last pyramid problem. And this is a big old pyramid in Egypt. It's a big old pyramid in Egypt. And it's got huge dimensions. It's another square base pyramid that's 750 by 750 feet for the base. And then the height, remember the height goes from the center of that base up to the very top there. The height is 480 feet. So let's go ahead and calculate this. Well, volume equals, now this is 4/3. This is for the, that's for your sphere. This is a pyramid. So let's go back to the very first one over there. It's 1/3 area base times height, okay? 1/3 base times height, and it's just like the cone one. You only had 2 new formulas today. So it's 1/3 area base times height. Okay, now let's go ahead and figure out the area of this base. Oh my. Okay, so the area of the base, we're going to have to multiply 750 times 750. Well, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to multiply 75 times 75 and then add 2 zeros in. So let's all multiply 75 times 75. Okay, I've got 375 for the first line. 49, 52. Okay, I'm getting 5625 for my base, for the area of my base. Okay, now what is my height? My height is 480. Oh, good gravy. This is a big one, isn't it? Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to erase this part right here. That was my calculation for the area of the square base. 750 times. Oh, what did I not do? I didn't add the 2 zeros in. I just did 75 times 75. Did you catch that? I hope you did. I hope you did. All right, now, so what is this? Let me move this out of the way. This is the area of my base. This is a big old whopper of a pyramid, and the height is 480. Oh my heavens. Okay, now let's go ahead and take 1/3 of 480. Well, 1/3 of 480, a third of 48 is 16. So it's going to be 160 times this number. All right, now let's be smart here. We've got 3 zeros here. Boom, boom, boom. I'm going to leave those off for a minute. Let's go ahead and just multiply 5625 times 16. Okay? So why don't you do that with me? 5265 times 16. I'm moving it over now. All right. Oh, I should have brought my water with me. Oh my. Oh my. I'm getting, just multiplying that, I'm getting 90,000. Did you get that? All right, so I'm going to first write my 90,000 that I got by multiplying 5625 times 16. But how many more zeros did I have to add on? 1, 2, 3. Okay, let's put our commas in and see where we are. Whoa, 90 million, and then my units are in feet, so that's going to be feet cubed. Feet cubed. 90 million cubic feet of volume in one of these, and this is a pyramid and one of those big pyramids in Egypt. Okay, so that makes sense. I haven't been to Egypt, but I'm sure they're huge. Okie dokie. So those are my 3 new formulas. 1/3 area base times height for pyramids and cones, and 4/3 pi r cubed for the volume of a sphere. Okay, now one last set of omissions for today. one last set of omissions. And let me go ahead and write that at the top. Okay, so for this lesson, our last omissions, we have 9 and 10. We have 13 and 14. We have 18 and 19. We have 22, 23, and 24. Okay, did those in black. Let's count those. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so 9, 10, 13, 14, 18, 19, and 22, 23, and 24. And we did 1, 2, 3, 4 palms together. So you're almost halfway there. You're almost halfway there. So this will be our last Zoom get together tutorial today, Tuesday at 1 or 2. And so I had a little difficulty because evidently now everybody has to come to a waiting room and I have to let you in to the meeting. I guess it's a new safety precaution that Zoom has, so crazy people don't join us in the Zoom meeting. All righty, so this is it. Don't forget your Khan Academy is due Friday night, and we will be from now on, after we finish lesson 113, I will be giving you, actually there's going to be 4 separate days where we're going to do 20 review problems, just kind of reviewing the whole year. It's actually like the exit exam, but I'm breaking it up into 4 different days, assignments that are 20 problems each. They'll just be homework assignments. Don't forget, I'm not giving you an exam grade, but I just want you to have just a summary of everything we've done this year. And so we're just going to have just a big general review. And of course, you can use your textbook. Okay. So I'll go ahead and post that on the class wall, but let's focus on this. This is lesson 113, and it's going to be due Wednesday morning. So have a great Tuesday. And I will see you at Zoom, and I will be talking to you through the class wall for the rest of the week. Bye-bye.